So wondering where minors can work in the state of Michigan is really determined by the Fair Labor Standards Act, which is a federal law, and the Youth Employment Standards Act here in Michigan, which both cover youth employment. And you need to follow whichever one's more stringent. Typically ours will be, but there are some differences that we really try to make sure that we make clear so you can follow the right law. There are some exemptions from coverage for people that are under the age of 18. Those are folks that are working in family-owned and operated businesses. If they're emancipated, they have to be legally emancipated. And if they are already have graduated from high school, they might be exempt. There are a few others, so you want to check in with us on more. Minors can work in a lot of locations. First and foremost, though, you have to be at least 14 years old to work anywhere. There are a couple of exemptions there too for certain paper routes and caddies and things like that. But by and large, those folks are going to need to be 14 years or older. And there are certain limitations for 14 and 15 versus 16 and 17. There are some limits to where minors can work. They're not allowed to be employed in hazardous occupations. There's a specific Federal Labor Standards Act Bulletin 101 on youth employment that outlines some of these. We also have information at our Michigan Wage and Hour Division, which outlines some of these. But you're going to think about things like construction, excavation, logging, woodworking, power tools, dangerous power tools. Really, overall, just the goal here is to make sure that our young people are protected while they're at work. While they are at work, they need to have adult supervision. That doesn't mean you have to stand right next to them, but you need to be readily available if they need help or if they need assistance to make sure that they are staying out of harm's way. In certain types of establishments like bars and restaurants, if your alcohol sales are more than 50%, you cannot have minors employed there. If that's not the case, you can have minors employed there, but you need to keep 14 and 15-year-olds away from where the alcohol is sold or distributed, and 16 and 17-year-olds cannot sell or distribute the alcohol. So if you're thinking about waiting tables, they may be able to help do that, but they can't be distributing or selling the alcohol that people might have while they're having dinner. So it's a great tool for employers to use to try to create those life skills that young people need to fill some gaps in their workforce. But you want to be mindful of it. We want you to understand these rules because we understand when you look at them, they can be quite onerous or look onerous. Our goal is not only to protect children, but to make sure you understand that what you can do in your workplace, because it is really important to let young people work to develop the skills they'll need throughout their life, as well as make sure our economy keeps moving forward. So you can always look to us for more information, and we're always happy to talk about youth employment.